Okay, that's new.
I think season 1, we had a lot of standalone episodes.
I think that was done basically so people could jump into the middle of the show and be able to know what's going on.
Season 2, I know we go more, even though the standalone episodes are there and the big science is there, the characters, they're better drawn now, so the relationships just sort of further.
We've got more of an arcing storyline, basically.
I think last season, first of all, it's kind of like virgin territory. Sort of knew what the tone of the show was, but clearly had no experience with it. It's a difference between walking across virgin snow and then walking the same meadow the following year.
Our first season, to me, was like a spring training. Now we get to come back and really work. Now we all know the characters. Now we know what we were doing, we were on the mark. So now we can just make it better, we can just step it up, and everybody has.
This year, I love that Allison is in control. I'm the head of the town, I'm the head of the company. Everyone really is under me now.
I'll speak for my own character. He's gotten more familiar with the town, and so the reactions are gonna be different. You know, you can't be taken by surprise all the time.
Yes, that would explain why he didn't answer his phone.
Eureka is first and foremost a small town.
Obviously, it's a place populated by geniuses.
That get on my nerves and usually cause problems and trouble, and I have to bail them out.
And there's a sheriff who happens to not come from the genius background, but is a genius in his own way.
The curveball is that it's the brightest people in the world, so some of their problems have to do with the fact that they can't get their cow to stop levitating. The science brings a level of, I think, absurdity to everyday problems, which I really enjoy.
I hate you.
Carter sometimes figures out what to do, but it's mostly me. I'm the brains.
I think that from the character standpoint is that you're sort of always 6 inches from death.
Explosions, gravity going away. There's a lot of problems that could arise from that.
The worst thing about living in Eureka would be, honestly, that you just never know what you're gonna experience walking out the door.
Take a seat. Ow! Dr. Everybody clear out! Allison!
This year, two things will happen. One is that the characters themselves are all going to make a shift.
His presence and my daughter's presence has really confused some of the relationships in town, so that continues.
So everyone will sort of be in different places emotionally.
Nathan Stark has an obsession. He made some decisions last year that he is going to have to pay for. He loses his job at Global Dynamics, and Allison takes over his job.
I think becoming the head of Global just has made her tougher. It's life and death every day in Eureka.
Henry has always been sort of his own man, working out of his garage, working on his own experiments. Now, for kind of obvious reasons, he wants to get inside Global Dynamics. He will be struggling with his relationship with Jack.
You're my closest friend. And intellectually, I know that you had to prevent me from saving Kim, but emotionally, I blame you for her death. I can't look at you without thinking that you're the one who did this, that you're the one who took her away from me.
Well, this season, we're definitely going a little deeper into the romance with Allison. I mean, last year, we ended off with, me being pregnant and then having to go back to reality. Now that we're in the new reality, I'm sort of being drawn to my ex-husband again. I don't think Allison knows what she wants in her romance right now.
Nathan also rekindles his relationship with Kevin. Now, is Nathan doing this because he really misses Allison and really truly loves her and truly loves Kevin? Or does he have an agenda?
But then, of course, I still want Carter, and I think it's just a lot more fun this year being pulled from here to here.
You want to get a cup of coffee?
I have a meeting.
Well, I think the relationship between Jack and Allison is going in a good direction.
I think that my character's okay with the relationship with Carter and the other woman.
Second season, they really get pulled apart. They both have issues to sort out. They both have situations to deal with. And I think that's where you want them, sort of where they have feelings for each other, but they have personal business that keeps them apart.
What are you doing here?
Well, that's a nice way to welcome your ex-wife. my mom returning?
I think the arrival of Abby in more ways than one is a big old monkey wrench.
I think Zoe loves her mom very much, but she's become so immune to the town, and she does not want to leave. So, for her mom coming back, it's a little nerve-wracking.
You know, good or bad, they're strong feelings. So there's a lot of tension that goes on there. And last season, Zoe, my daughter, wanted to, us to get back together, and then Mom comes to town, and there's a lot of unresolved stuff there, and we sort of immediately create an issue that sort of gets thrust in between a lot of the characters.
Need something, Fargo?
What? No. I mean, Fargo, I think Fargo pretty much knows that he's not a ladies' man, but he probably is working on a way to try to be one. Who knows? Maybe he'll make a fancy car or something.
A chance for romance for Joe this season. Well, it depends. There could be, a really tough kind of army guy that could possibly walk in her life, or there could be maybe opposites attract.
I'm not aware of any relationships with Joe Lupo or not. I know he definitely has a crush on Joe Lupo. But given that he has a big crush on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it would kind of fit that he would also have a crush on the toughest woman in Eureka as well. I'm not sure if he wants to start, well, of course he would probably want to start something. The problem is I don't think Fargo would ever be at that point to be able to try to start something. He'd be a bit too shy.
Every character is sent on a really interesting journey this season.
I hope the show goes for a while, and I'd love to see the characters grow. I'd love to sort of see what actually happens and not be afraid to, lose certain relationships so that we can gain others, and sort of really see the evolution of the town, and hopefully these people will stay interesting.
Henry went back and changed history, thereby creating a paradox. We need to stop Henry from saving Kim.
Someone's got to go back.
I love our life. I love this baby.
There's no time, no way that we don't end up together.
October 3rd, 2006.
Colin, what's the one thing you don't want happen to your character on Eureka?
What's the one thing I don't want to happen to my character on the show? I think, from an acting perspective, and this might not be the answer you want to hear, but, from an acting perspective, it's like I don't want to see him erode. He's got some barnacles, and he's not the nicest of guys sometimes. He's got problems with his daughter.
Because it's your birthday, so I figured it'd be great to do something together. There's the two of us.
That's nice, but, I'm turning 16, not 60.
Which still qualifies you as a minor. Wearing that doesn't qualify as a shirt, so put on a jacket.
And the fact that he won't lie, and he'll just get in trouble for it. I like that. I like that it's sort of a throwback to sort of a 1940s detective, so that I hope that never changes. Thank you for the question.
So, Colin, what are your chances with Allison this season?
Okay, what are Jack's chances with Allison this year? So by chances, what are we talking about specifically? I think what we wanted to do, sort of first and foremost, was if and when Jack and Allison hook up, we wanted to earn it. So, you gonna come to Zoe's surprise party?
Oh, me? I thought you were into young brunettes.
No, I'm into old.
Didn't come out right, did it?
No. We made a concerted effort this year to sort of really split them apart for a bit and have them go through some difficult times.
This place still needs you, too.
And then work their way back together over a bunch of seasons.
I just want to get this figured out as quickly as possible.
Oh my God, you're jealous.
Of?
What do you think?
You know what? Let's just stay focused on work so we can avoid these awkward moments.
Whether we get close this season, I don't think that's going to happen. In a good way. I think there'll be chemistry.
Colin, how has starring on Eureka changed your life, and what do you think of us Syfy fans?
Oh, wow. How has starring in Eureka changed my life? The exposure has been fantastic, just from a career perspective. I mean, it sort of breaks down into, like, how's it affected your career? How's it affected your day-to-day? My girlfriend and I broke up, is what has affected that, because I'm very busy on the show, and that's very hard to keep a relationship going. So there's that goes on, which is hard. I mean, I'm being glib about it, but it's actually, it's difficult to maintain something when you're working 16 hours a day. From a bank account aspect, it's been great. And I like the Syfy fans. It's a level of fandom that It's not blind fandom. It's sort of like, we love your show. This bugs me. You know, and which is great because when in those days when you're doing 16 hours a day, you need to remember that people are watching, and if you do get lazy, they're going to call you on it. So it's nice to have that as sort of something that pushes you through your day. So that's how Eureka's changed my life right now so far.
What makes Jack so much cooler than Nathan?
Yeah, why is Jack so much cooler than Nathan? Casting, that's why, right there. Nail, Ed, if you want to just talk about Ed and I, he's so great, he's so into his character, and he was so worried this season because he's not running global. He was concerned that he's like, but I'm such a good evil guy. You know, he's like, I still have to be annoying, right? So everyone's so into their own character and how their character fits into the show and what function that provides the show. The question of cool and not cool doesn't come up all that much. But I love the question, and I love the implication of the question.
Get into cryogenics while there's still time.
I'm actually meeting up with Ed in 5 minutes. I'll be telling him that question for sure. I just got asked about podcasts, and it's an interesting question because we were all just talking about it here. Here, you want to shoot over there? Shoot these guys? This is Margot and this is Matt. Ah! This is the people who actually put them on the website. Ah, Matt hides. That's fantastic. All right, so yeah, we're going to continue to do the podcast, absolutely. No, I'd never been to a con. I'd never even seen them before working with Syfy, and I guess we went to our first one 3 years ago, and that was awesome because there was this big old venue for Andy, Jaime, and myself, and we had about 5 people in the audience because the show hadn't been on the air yet, and 4 of those people were just there to get good seats for the next people who are coming in. As a comparison to what we go through now, which is it's very well received, and things are going well for us.
What are you doing here?
I'm stopping you, Henry.
I have to save her. Get the hell out of the way!
I think this is definitely becoming our thing.
We don't have a thing.
We might.